All right, let's talk about this Jazzy Elite ES. I'm going to go over on how to make adjustments on this power chair and how to put it together. So whenever you get it from the manufacturer, it's going to basically come like this. Seat in a separate box, arms, brackets. Now, underneath here, you're going to have your cover. That's where your batteries are going to be underneath. And they simply just pop this up. Just like that, and that comes off. Okay, so that's your cover. You're gonna have your two U1 batteries right in here, and then you also have your post adjustment. So you have a nut right there, and then a bolt, a nut, and then these right here, just what they do is they tighten it up. So if you have a customer that's tall, you could take this nut and bolt off, and then loosen this up, and then this will come up. Now remember, you have your grooves right here. Those have to be facing forward, and then that little tip has to be facing back. These right here are your neutral levers. If you guys are out and about, power chair stops working, you flip these back, you're able to manually push the power chair. So they're always going to be in the forward position whenever you're driving it. So you're going to get your cover. You want to make sure that you bring your cable that attaches to the joystick. You bring that forward, and then right back here is just gonna snap. So if you bring that forward and then back, it just pops in there just like that. Okay, now excuse me, you do have your seat, which is going to be this one right here, your captain seat. The easiest way for me to do it is what I'll do is I'll bring it back. You do have to hold this lever up before you pop it in the post. Now I will say the cool thing about this Jazzy is, and I'll explain to you here shortly what I mean, is these right here are called set screws. Okay, you could add swing away legs, elevating legs. Now if for some reason you go to a customer's house and one of the armrests is missing a set screw, these little set screws you could take off and add them to that armrest bracket so it doesn't move around, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So you got two extra ones right there. You hold the lever up. This is going to be kind of weird with the camera. You align it to the hole, and then you just pop it in. You let go of the lever, and it's going to lock into place. And then you're going to bring this handle up and bring the seat up. Okay, now the next step is going to put your arm bracket, which is this one right here. And I always like facing this forward so the customer can see it. It's basically a manual and then a pinch section. I guess you could pinch your fingers if you're not careful. But anyways, you pop this into this bracket, and this is what I mean. There's a set screw right there. So a lot of times these customers have the chairs for a long time and they're missing the set screw. So you get one from underneath the bracket. And then you're gonna get your armrest, which is this one right here. It just pops into that bracket, just like that. So what I usually do is I'll go ahead and bring it all the way in to where it's not hitting the back of the seat. That way they have more room to go into doorways. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this Allen and I'm just gonna tighten it up. And I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight. Oops. There we go. And then I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I usually do like two finger right there. And then I'll tighten that up. And then when I get to the customer's house, if I have to make minor adjustments, it won't be a problem. Okay, once we get that, you have the option to put the joystick on the left or the right. Before you do that, underneath here, there's another set screw right there that you can also use. The other arm has one too. Now these flange bolts right here, you can make adjustments to bring the armrest up so the customer is a little bit more comfortable. So you loosen that up. That one's already loose. And then you bring the arm up and then you tighten it up. So this customer is going to be using the joystick on the right side. So we're going to go ahead and put the joystick on there. So I have the joystick. I'm gonna pop it in there. Now I usually like to bring it out just a little bit, like where it's kind of even with the armrest right here, so they have better control and they're not having to bring their elbow back. Now obviously whenever I get there, if I see that it's too far forward, then I'll make adjustments there. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. And then you also have your angle adjust bolt right here. So if you bring this down and you see like the arm is really low, you could loosen that up and then bring this bolt forward and make it even. So that's a little bit even or a little bit higher. So you have a customer that does pressure relieve, and they use the armrest to get up to relieve pressure from their bottom, then you want to kind of bring it up a little bit higher. That way, because eventually it's going to go back down, and then of course you tighten that up. So I'll do that here in a minute. Let me move the scooter out of the way. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this guy. We're going to bring this bracket and bring it in, bring the armrest, pop it in. So if the armrest, if the joystick needs to be on the left side, you can switch it on the left side. So we're going to tighten it up from the back. We're going to scoot it in just a little bit to where it's a little bit closer to the captain's seat. We're going to tighten that up. Make sure it's nice and tight. We're going to bring this up just to finger right there, just to kind of make it even with the other side. And then this is your other set screw right here that you could also use if it's missing and you go to a customer's house and you're missing a set screw. And we're going to do the same thing with this side. Bring the arm up. Here's another set screw right there. So this thing has set screws everywhere that you could definitely borrow or use until you get new ones. Loosen that up, bring the arm up. And then of course you also have seat depth adjustment, which I have another video on that. Okay, that's up. We're going to bring this down and we're going to make it even with the other one. And the other one kind of looks too high, but whenever I get to the customer's house, I'll be able to make adjustments on that, and then I'll tie in this nut right here. Because we don't want it too high either. We don't want to put a whole bunch of pressure on the customer. Okay, and that's basically it. I mean, those are really your basic adjustments. Foot plate does have an angle adjustment right there, so you could bring the angle up. You cannot, I believe you could not even, you can't even bring the foot plate down, but you can do that angle adjustment right there, up and down. And then you just zip tie the power chair and you're good to go. Hopefully that helps on how to make some minor adjustments to your customer. Have a good day. So, trying to get out of here. Let's see. Preview not available. I get it. So, let's go ahead and power it off.